Stephen O'Sullivan is from Barclays Capital Asia. Stephen, thanks very much for joining us. It's stumbling over price, or is it more than that?
It's basically price is what they're talking about. There's obviously momentum behind it. It comes up every 8 to 10 years. It's been being talked about now for about 6 months, but with increasing degrees of urgency, I think it's fair to say. Obviously, on the Chinese side, they see that demand is rising quite strongly with hydro issues, nuclear issues, environmental issues. Gas is clearly a positive future fuel for China. On the Russian side, gas exports head has said that they've reached agreement on volumes. Now the issue is price.
Okay,
that's a big issue.
But surely pricing can be easily determined by saying, well, what's the wholesale price?
Yes, you've got to look at where the gas is coming from, though. The Russians are considering supplying it from northern Russia and tying it into supplies to Europe to give them a balancing option.
So the same price that Europe would pay is what they want, is that right?
They want the same level of profitability. Now, the Chinese are saying, well, hang on, there's an awful lot more gas much closer to us in East Siberia. We would like to buy from there. It will cost us less, it'll be faster, it'll be more reliable. That's the debate about price.
Okay, he's headed to Moscow, Hu Jintao. I mean, that's in a sign, perhaps, that behind the scenes, we've got a deal, and they just have to put pen to paper.
I think that's why you're seeing the momentum. Now, of course, Hu and Putin Medvedev meet every 6 months. He's in Russia for a state visit. He's going to the St. Petersburg Economic Forum. It's a logical time, if you're going to make an announcement, to make that announcement. That said, we've been close to this point many times before.
Okay, well, put you on the spot. Will it happen?
It will eventually happen. There is no question.
But
the logic
not in
is
the
there.
next few hours or days?
I suspect we'll be close, but not quite there, is how I would characterise it. I don't think it'll quite be finished on this round of negotiations.
Okay, well, what about, China itself? And, I mean, the amount it's going, it needs energy desperately, doesn't it? It's the world's biggest energy consumer now. And I think that Russia's the biggest energy exporter now, if you look at gas.
Yes, it is. China is 20% of world energy use, and Russia's the largest energy producer, the world's largest gas exporter. It's an absolutely logical deal to happen. China, of course, is looking for energy from other parts of the world. It imports LNG from Australia, from Russia, from the Sakhalin project in the Far East, takes in gas potentially by pipeline from Burma, also from Kazakhstan. So it is definitely a growing energy market. And if you're an energy exporter, it's an obvious market for you to be interested in.
Especially if you're a gas exporter, because I think they want to get over their reliance on coal, don't they? And go towards down the clean tech route.
Well, China's gas demand today is about 96 billion cubic metres a year. In context, the size of Germany or the UK. 10 years' time, it's going to be 400, size of the EU demand. Massive increase coming. And
beyond that, of course, with a billion people, I mean...
economic growth, substitution away from coal towards environmentally friendly energy, worries about the sustainability of hydro, etc., the long-term future of nuclear. Gas is an obvious fuel for China to want more of. The issue is where to get it from, how much to pay, and how to sign those contracts.
Will the Russians ultimately have enough, I wonder?
They've got enough in East Siberia. The challenge is that for East Siberia, it's far too expensive to ever consider exporting to Europe. The absolutely logical market is the Chinese market. They just have to get over their mutual failure to agree for small reasons dressed up as big reasons.
Okay, so we see this, and of course we're going to have China making deals with other people as well, here as well, Australia, etc.
Yes, they import LNG from Australia, they import a bit from Russia, they will continue to look to buy LNG. The challenge for the global LNG market is what happens if Russia and China don't agree. If they fail to agree ever, there's a big increase in demand for LNG, which is positive for LNG producers, positive for Australia, etc.
Right, just going off piste, we've just been discussing the tensions that China has with Vietnam. Now, this is the subtext here, energy, once again?
Yes, there wasn't much debate about the delineation of the South China Sea till the UN identified in the mid-70s that there was actually lots of oil and gas potentially under the South China Sea. So now, of course, people are looking out for their strategic interests. China, the Philippines, Vietnam, etc., are all interested in having a share of that potential wealth under the sea.
Stephen, thank you very much indeed for coming. Stephen O'Sullivan there from Barclays Capital, just having a look at this possibility of a deal being done between Beijing and Moscow concerning gas.